Welcome back to It's All About Spice. Today I'm making Palak Dal. It's a lentil-based Indian dish that's packed with the goodness of spinach and garlic. There's so many varieties of lentil to choose from. For this dish, we're going with tur dal and split pigeon peas. Lentils are such an essential part of Indian cooking. Growing up, I think we made lentil at our house almost every single day. That's how much I love dal, and Palak Dal makes it even more better. So I think you're gonna love this recipe. It's delicious, it's nutritious, and it's packed with a ton of proteins. So if you're sitting at home wanting to do something fun, give this recipe a try. This will definitely bring a smile and get your taste buds craving for more. So let's get started. All right, so we're gonna make two different things today that will work together perfectly. We're gonna make Palak Dal, and then we'll also make jeera fried rice. Okay, so let's go through the ingredients for both of these. So to start with, we're gonna have onions. So I've chopped onions really fine. I've separated them into two little batches here. This one we're gonna use it for the Palak Dal, and this one's gonna be for the jeera fried rice. I've got some green chilies here that we're gonna use. I also have curry leaves. Curry leaves, you can find them in Indian grocery stores. They're really good for tadka that you put on top of the dal, and they bring some beautiful aroma and good flavor to the dal. We're also gonna use pureed tomato. So I have about one tomato that I've pureed, which makes it easy and fast to cook. I also have some chopped ginger and garlic over here. So I've got some chopped garlic and chopped ginger that I'm going to use for the tadka in the dal at the end. I've got some tamarind or imli. This gives a nice tangy flavor to the Palak Dal. I really like that, but if you don't, you can always skip using tamarind. Obviously, I have spinach here. This is going to bring a lot of good nutrition to this dish. And then in terms of spices, we've got a whole bunch of spices here that we're going to use both to make the Palak Dal and then also to the jeera fried rice. So I'm going to start from here. So I've got some cumin seeds, coriander seeds, I've got long, and then elaichi, forgot what you call it in English, and then I have turmeric powder, there's cumin powder, garam masala, and coriander powder. These are mustard seeds that we're going to also use, and then we have some whole red chilies, dry red chilies that we're going to use. Along with that, just a few other things. So I've got the ginger garlic paste in here that we're going to use with our Palak Dal, and then this is our dal. So I've already boiled the dal. It's about 1 cup of dal here. To prepare the dal, we'll start with soaking our dal first in water. So for a cup of dal, I've used about 2 cups of water, and we'll let it soak in here for about 15 minutes. Let's transfer our dal into the pressure cooker, and we'll cook it for about 3 whistles on high heat and 2 whistles on low heat. And then we have some rice. So this is from last night. It's leftover rice, and I think jeera rice works perfectly when it's leftover rice, but you can also make fresh rice. This is just plain white rice. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and start cooking. So we're gonna start with preparing our ingredients. So I've got about 1 large onion that I'm gonna chop up. We're going to prep the onions in 2 batches. About 1/3 of the onion, we'll use it for our jeera fried rice, and the other part we're going to use it for the dal. Okay, so we've got about 1 tomato chopped into pieces that we're going to puree. We'll add this to the dal, and adding tomato puree to the dal helps cook that faster. All right, so let's transfer our tomato puree into the bowl. We're going to chop some fresh ginger. We'll chop about 3 cloves of garlic, and we're going to use ginger and garlic for our tadka for the dal. We've prepped our ingredients and now we're ready to cook our dal. So we're going to start with a hot pot with some oil, and we're adding cumin seeds, cardamom, and clove. We'll let it sizzle for about a minute. It's time to add chopped onion. Let's get all the onion in the pot. We're going to stir this and let it cook for about 2 to 3 minutes until the onions turn light golden. While our onions are cooking, we're going to chop some fresh green chilies. The green chilies will add a nice peppery flavor to our palak dal. And again, if you don't want it to be really spicy, then you can skip the green chilies. Next, we're on to the main ingredient of this dish, which is palak. So we're going to chop the palak. We'll roughly chop it. This palak's also going to add a nice color to the dish. Okay, we're getting ready to add some salt. And this is going to really help cook our onions a little bit faster. Let's give this a stir. And we'll let it cook for about another minute or 2. Alright, so our onions are light golden. Now we're going to add green chilies. Now we're going to add our ginger garlic paste. When you're adding the ginger garlic paste, make sure that your heat is on low flame so that you don't burn the ginger and garlic. Alright, so we're going to mix this. Let it cook for about another minute. Okay, so our onion and ginger garlic is cooked, and we're going to add our tomato puree. Look at the beautiful color. Oh, it looks delicious. Now we're going to start adding our spices. So we'll start with turmeric powder. Add some coriander powder, garam masala, and cumin powder. After adding all of these spices, let's mix this really well, and now we're going to let this mixture cook for about 3 to 5 minutes until you see oil separating from the mixture. It's been about 2 minutes, and now we're going to add some desi ghee to our mixture. Anytime you're making dal tadka or palak dal, you gotta add desi ghee. If you don't have ghee, you can add butter as well, and this just adds a level of depth and richness to our dal. Let's give this a good stir. Look at the beautiful color, and you can see that the oil is starting to separate from the mixture. So we're almost done. Now we're going to cover the lid and let this cook for another about 5 minutes. Okay, so let's prep our tamarind. So tamarind is imli. It brings a nice tangy flavor to the palak dal. So I'm soaking the tamarind in some warm water, and we'll let it sit here for about 5 minutes so that all the juices and flavor from the tamarind can release into the water. All right, so let's check our mixture. Looks like it's almost done. You can see that the oil is separated from the mixture. And what you want is you want this dark brownish kind of color. Okay, so our tamarind has been soaking in the water, and so now I'm going to add the tamarind juice to our mixture. Now again, depending on how tangy or tart you want this palak dal to be, you can add a little bit to a bit more. The tamarind water is also going to give this a dark brownish kind of color to the mixture. So we've added the tamarind water. We'll let this cook for another 2 to 3 minutes. And now we're going to add spinach. All of our spinach is in here. Okay, so we're gonna mix this. Beautiful. Spinach adds a brightness and spark of color to this dal. And lots of nutrition too. Okay, so I've put the lid on and we're gonna cook this for about 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so we're getting ready to add our dal to this mixture. Okay, so we're gonna add our dal to the mixture and then mix it up really nice. And don't worry if the dal looks a little dense and thick because we're gonna add some water. Okay, so let's add about 2 cups of water. I'm gonna add the water slowly. So I'm adding some water first. We're gonna give this a stir and see how it feels, and then we'll continue to add water until you have the right amount of consistency in your dal. Now again, when making palak dal or dal tadka, some people like the dal to be runny, some people like it to be kind of thick. So it really depends on how you prefer the dal. I like it somewhere in between. So for this dish, I'm adding about 2 cups of water. All right, so we're gonna give this a nice stir and then we'll leave the dal to boil for about 2 to 3 minutes. So what you want is you really wanna boil the dal and just see those little bubbles pop up. While our dal is boiling, I'm gonna start with the tadka. Now the tadka is what really brings that beautiful flavor and nice color to this dish. So for that, I have a pan here and I'm starting with desi ghee. Again, you can substitute this with butter as well. I definitely recommend using butter or ghee instead of oil. All right, so we'll let this heat up. Anytime you're making the tadka, make sure that your heat is really high, your butter is really hot or ghee is hot. Now we're gonna add our chopped ginger and garlic. So the chopped ginger and garlic is really gonna add a good flavor to the dal. I'm putting some mustard seeds in here. Let this sizzle in the pan for about a minute. Keep an eye on this. You don't want the ginger and garlic to really burn, but you do want them to be nice and brown. I've also added red chilies and curry leaves in here. I absolutely love how the curry leaves add or complement the tamarind that's going to go in this dish. And then the red chilies and the garlic really complements the palak that's in the dal. All right, so I've added a pinch of hing to this. So if you want to skip it, you can. I think hing really adds a depth of flavor to the tadka. Let's add some more ghee to this because you can never have enough ghee, right? All right, so our tadka is ready to go. Our dal is ready, and I'm just gonna pour our tadka into the dal, and you can just hear the sizzle and you can just see how nice and beautiful this looks. I love how the red chilies add that beautiful red color to this dal. All right, so let's give this a stir, and our palak dal is ready to go. It looks beautiful, it smells delicious. And I just really can't wait to try this. Okay, so our dal is ready, and I'm planning to serve the palak dal with jeera fried rice. So let's take a quick look at how to make the jeera fried rice. So I have the pan in which I made the tadka, and I'm adding some canola oil to it. To the hot pan, we're gonna start with jeera or cumin seeds. Let's give this a stir. We'll wait for the cumin seeds to sizzle up. Then we're gonna add onions and some chopped green chilies. I'm gonna let this cook for about a minute or two. All right, so we're gonna top this off with some hara dhania or chopped coriander leaves. Coriander leaves and green chilies really add that vibrant green color and freshness to our jeera fried rice. And finally, we're gonna add some cooked white rice. So this is rice that I prepared last night. You can make it fresh as well. So I have about 1.5 cups of cooked white rice here. Let's get all the rice in there. Let's mix it up really nice so our onions and green chili, cilantro, and the oil, it all comes together with the rice. And that's what really gives the jeera fried rice that beautiful aroma and a beautiful look. So our jeera fried rice is ready, and we're just getting ready to now plate our dish with the palak dal and jeera fried rice.
Wow, so this looks fantastic, Hina. I love the color of it, the aroma. What is that smell I'm getting there?
I think it's the curry leaves that we added in here. Okay. Roasted curry leaves really get a beautiful
it's very fragrant
aroma to it. Yeah, and then there's a couple other things. We used chopped ginger and garlic, sauteed that, and then used that as a garnish, almost as part of the tadka. So I think you're smelling a lot of that too. So yeah, this is a very tasty, creamy, rich recipe. And it was super easy to make, and it uses all the ingredients that people typically have at home. And it is all veg. So, you know, on days when you want to be pure vegetarian, just give this a try.
Nice.
And it's loaded with all kinds of nutritious ingredients. It's got spinach in here. I personally am not a huge spinach fan just on its own, so I really love recipes where you can bury the spinach with something else and try it.
Well, I've had dal many times with Hina while eating Indian food, but I've never had a special dal like this palak dal. So I'm really interested to see how this tastes here. I'm going to dig in. Get a big spoonful. Oh, that is rich and so full of depth and flavor. It's all of those different layers of spices and the ghee, the chilies, the what did you call the type of lentil? What did they? That was a
tur dal or split pigeon pea.
Pigeon pea. Okay.
Pea, yeah.
So many flavors. It's so good. This would be good on a really cold day.
I know. Very tasty. I can't stop eating it. And then I'm trying it also with some mango pickle. I think mango pickle's acidity brings an additional layer of flavor to this, but you can just try it with the rice and the dal.
You know, and for all of the spices you put in here too, and the chilies and everything, it's not spicy. It's not burning at all.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be like hot chili kind of spiciness. It's supposed to be more of the rich flavor that you get from the dal and the different spices that you use in here.
Well, I have my traditional Indian kurti on for this beautiful, wonderful, special palak dal.
Yeah.
I have a mouthful. This was fantastic, Hina.
I know, it turned out so great, and I love it. And thank you to my mom for her super delicious recipe. As I said before, I just love this, and my mom always makes it for me. So I can't wait to cook this for her.
Thank you, Mama G.
All right, well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you love this recipe. Definitely give this a try and tell us in the comments section how this turned out to be. Like and subscribe to our channel and keep the love coming.
All right. Thanks, Hina.
All right, see you.